Hey collectors, welcome to Star Wars Collected. I'm Jonathan. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing and review of this Kotobukiya Obi-Wan Kenobi statue. If you watched my July 2021 haul video, you know that I got the deal of the century on this thing. We'll talk more about that as we set it up. All right collectors, this comes to us via eBay. This is not something that was heavily on my radar. I was aware of this statue and would see it come up for sale, and I'd watch it every once in a while. Mainly the reason I was kind of watching it is because I have the General Grievous statue that this one sort of accompanies, and thought, oh, that might look kind of cool if I put them together. But these things were often selling for $200 to $300, something like that. And as much as I love Obi-Wan, this isn't a representation that I felt like I absolutely needed, but I got a really good deal. So you'll see that here the box is still sealed. To the best of my knowledge, this has never been opened. Like I said, the deal was so good that I'm slightly afraid that when I open this up, there's just going to be nothing but like packaging peanuts or the plague or something like that is inside. So in my July 2021 haul video, I mentioned that I got this guy for $35. Unfortunately, guys, that was a bit of a lie. What I didn't realize at the time was that that was $35 Canadian. So I actually paid about $27 USD for this guy. Amazing. Right now on eBay, when I checked, it was, I think I saw one that was around $150, but that wasn't selling. But most of them are around $200 to $300. You know, this box is not in absolute perfect shape. There are some little bumps and stuff like that on the side, but you know, I'm not that hot and heavy for boxes, so I don't care at all. This would be an amazing price for something that didn't even have a box or even had, you know, one of the fingers broken or something like that. So we're gonna go ahead and slide it out here. Please don't be packaging peanuts. Oh my gosh, there's our boy. So keep moving this off. So like I said, this guy combines up with General Grievous. Maybe we'll take a look at that here towards the end. And in general, I think he's going to be a much easier to assemble piece than General Grievous. General Grievous wasn't particularly hard to assemble, but he has so many small, intricate, brittle parts that as you assembled him, you wanted to be careful as to not damage him in some way. So here we are out of the box. We have a display stand. We have his legs down here, you know, him, his torso, his arms. He's doing the famous two-finger bring it on type thing that he has. And then we have his lightsaber blade, and then the lightsaber piece itself actually comes in two pieces. My guess is that's most likely why General Grievous comes in two pieces, is because you kind of put one part of it in here, one part of it in there, and that kind of sandwiches it in between the two. So we also have a little tiny booklet here. And in this little tiny booklet, we have what I'm guessing are just basic assembly instructions. If you have bought some Kotobukiya stuff in the past, you know that they are actually made out of vinyl, and you know, but they're still very hard and things like that. And you kind of assemble them yourself. Now, I don't really know why this is the case. I actually don't know that much about Kotobukiya outside of the Star Wars things and some of the other things they sell. So I don't know if they were originally like a model company that decided like this is how they wanted to sell their pieces, or if this is a way that they could sell some statues in a scale that's similar to Gentle Giant or Sideshow without stepping on any licensing issues or something like that. So yeah, there's little instructions here about the assembly. If you've ever seen a human being before, you probably won't have any issue putting this guy together. So while he's upright like this, we're gonna go ahead and undo the twist ties. Man, this takes me back. Undoing twist ties like this, seems like every toy that I bought as a kid in the 90s would have all these little twist ties on it. And when you're real young, you can't even stand it. Like, you gotta hand it off to your mom or your dad, and then they're over there feverishly trying to untwist these things while your excitement is about to boil over. You're probably pushing on them and hurry up, get it out. All right, we have the base out here. Just like General Grievous, this base is designed to look like the hangar on Utapau. You know, some of the floor that they had there. That is a really cool planet. I would actually love to see a return to Utapau. and kind of a little further exploration. All right, we have some legs. These look so funny disembodied. All right, and a a peace sign. Guys, peace, peace in the galaxy. And his little bicep curl pumps you up. And then Obi-Wan himself. So, as I've matured in my collection, I've begun to appreciate paint application and sculpts and shading, coloring, things like that a little bit more. And this is probably where Kotobukiya falls behind a little bit. I'll hold it up here, but his beard marks on the side here, there's some paint kind of where there isn't sculpting. It looks a little bit better on this side. Quite a bit of redness around the eyes, which you want some of that, but maybe a little too much on this. He does have his little mole there, so that's good. So, all in all, Kotobukiya, really not too bad. But there are the occasional piece. I have a Hutt Slayer Leia piece, which you can definitely see the Japanese influence on the way that she is modeled in that, which, is cool, but not necessarily the accurate Carrie Fisher depiction that maybe you're hoping to add to your collection. So you'll kind of have to take it a little bit, as they go. Each piece is a little bit different. Now I'll say they're troopers, and I love my General Grievous piece. Those guys do not seem to have, I don't think any interpretation issues or paint application issues. They all look really good to me. All right, we've got our last lightsaber piece out here. Go ahead and put this packaging on the ground. Okay, so let's put together a human being. So no problem, we've got his legs here, got his torso here. I'm actually gonna maybe plug his arms into his torso first. So all very simple, straightforward. They are kind of I think they describe themselves as a vinyl model kit. It doesn't really take any skills, everything just sort of pops in together here and there. Very good. And they always do a good job about hiding the seam. So, we've got a little bit of underarm seam here, but if this was an actual shirt, it would probably have a seam there as well. And then they hide most of the seaming up there in the shoulder, so that's good. And then they bring the torso down to the belt line. So again, you would have a seam there anyway. So that goes on top like that. So, already as it's assembled, you wouldn't look at that and be like, oh, that was kind of cobbled together, pushed together, or like an action figure where it's got a bunch of joints and things like that. Let's go ahead and put him on the base here. Go into his heel. Now you will hear a little bit of screeching here and there because it is vinyl. It is sort of a tight fit as it goes together. Okay. All right, so lightsaber assembly. We have the back of the hilt and the emitter part of the hilt. We're gonna put the emitter down like this. Put the actual hilt in there like so. And just sort of push it together. The black ribbing part goes up into his hand pretty easily. And we'll just push that emitter down. And that looks pretty tight to me. And then this right here will peg into there. And that, boys and girls, is it. So we have Obi-Wan Kenobi in his very classic, especially prequel pose. I love that when there was the duel with Maul and Rebels, that this pose came back, and he not only did this pose from the prequels, which we're all very familiar with, kind of like that, but then also brought it in kind of like A New Hope when he brings the lightsaber in right before he does Vader. So it was very cool that they're paying attention and sort of giving us a little bit of prequel Obi-Wan Kenobi and a little bit of original trilogy Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we've got him out like this. So why don't we go ahead and take this. I'll get out my General Grievous. There actually is a little connector piece. We'll put them together here and we'll kind of show it as Kotobukiya intended. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in General Grievous here. Now, when I unbox General Grievous, we've got a full video about his unboxing and reviewing on the channel as well. He came with this sort of little gangplank type thing, and I really thought I would never be using it, let alone using it kind of so soon. So this right here just plugs into the front of this, like so. And then I thought that this would snap in, but it really doesn't appear to. It just appears to kind of like line up a little bit and kind of connect those two, and there's the lines that go across, which is fine by me because otherwise there would have to be some perforations in there, just like there's perforations in the front of this, which honestly doesn't look the best. So you kind of put them together like so, and then you kind of have your famous duel here of Obi-Wan Kenobi and General Grievous going at one another. It's a very cool looking pose. What's interesting actually is that if you know your lore pretty well, the lightsabers that they gave General Grievous for this part of the film were basically existing lightsabers within their kind of catalog of lightsabers. So there's actually an identical Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber over here. There's an Anakin one over here, although it's emitting green. And some of these other ones I think are some of the other Jedi, like Plo Koon or something like that. Their Jedi, their lightsabers are up here too. So pretty cool. One thing that is a little weird though is that each one of these has a kind of a different color of base. Obi-Wan Kenobi's base, his colors here in no way match the colors that are on here. This is a little bit of a closer match, but you know, I will not probably be displaying these, certainly not this way, at least for right now, because I like to keep them, you know, off of the air and keep dust away from them. But it is cool to kind of see them posed up like this, and for what was actually $27, how could I resist adding Obi-Wan Kenobi to give my General Grievous someone to duel with? Collectors, there you have it. This is my unboxing and review of the Kotobukiya 1/7 scale Episode 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi final model kit, if I can get that all out at once. You know, pretty cool figure. Like I said, a couple knocks I would give it on some of the paint application here. You're gonna find that on most of the sort of human looking characters from Kotobukiya. But other than that, you know, super cool piece. Cool to see these two guys paired together. I still love this piece. I love this one more than I think I like the premium format ones from Sideshow and things like that. I just love this pose. This is how I picture General Grievous when I picture him. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a like. If you like videos like this, please subscribe. We have new videos here all the time. And if you like getting awesome deals like this guy and talking about Star Wars, make sure you follow us on Instagram too, because we're always interacting on there as well. See ya.